Hey, hello everyone. Today I'm going to teach you about no. Yes, no. Yeah, no. No theater. It's very awesome, and I learned a lot about it today, so I'm going to teach you guys too. Okay, so I'm going to start with the history of no. So there are multiple theories, but the theory I'm going to tell you today is it derived from a Korean practice called denganku. So what denganku is it's a type of dance that people would perform after harvest, because you would do a lot of work before harvest and during harvest, but after harvest there would be a lot of food that would go bad if you don't party and eat it, and also there's a lot of like laborers that don't have that much work to do. So they were able to have feasts, and then the people would dance in those feasts, and that's what inspired no theater eventually. So unlike multiple theater forms where it derives from the higher ups and then moves slowly towards the commoners, it starts from the commoners and slowly becomes bougie through its history. So I think that's something really interesting about it. No, not yet. So it also is very connected to traditional Japanese historical tropes. Samurais saving, like with ninjas, like all of those stories, they're incorporated into no theater. There's this guy named Kiyotsugu Ziyami, who is a very famous playwright. He's basically the Shakespeare of no theater. Out of a lot of his works, 22 have survived, and they're the most famous no works. No. Yes, no. Yeah, no. Okay, next. So there are multiple elements of no that are all very interesting. So the first one is that no theater is very static and very philosophical. So it really tries to resonate with you and make you think. So I think that's something very important about no. They, even though a single show would only go from 30 minutes to 2 hours, the entire no theater piece altogether would go all the way up to 8 hours, because one no sitting requires all of the different types of no to be performed. Each no performance consists of 2 scenes, and it always involves a ghost, a demon, or like a demon that's deprived from sleep. So it's also a mix of verse and prose, where people speak in poetry sometimes, but also speak in normal speech sometimes. Although physical movement, as I'll later illustrate, is also a very big element of it. It's similar to Shakespearean plays, where people would just suddenly speak in rhymes on the wrong times, but sometimes they just speak in normal speech in that time. It always ends in a dance too. That's something else very interesting. Also, they would sing those verse and prose. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Next. So here, meet the no team. They know how to do no. So first, there's the main character mask. So the main character would always wear a mask. I'll talk about like the different characters later. And the mask always symbolizes like the position and the emotion and of different parts of the character. And then there's the hand gestures, which are gestures that people make to perform like the play, and it's well known among the viewers and the performers as like a way of communicating above just speech. And then there's the Takehiro Kengi, which is the fans, similar to Kabuki theater. For example, something interesting is like a fan that's silver can symbolize a mirror when it's open and a sword when it's closed. So it has many like symbolism. That's very interesting. There are also some no traditions that I want to talk about. The first one is that no plays have little people. So each play normally only consists of 3 to 5 performers compared to other plays. There is often a large band behind those performers, but the audience's attention is always on the 3 to 5 performers. The 3 to 5 performers include a shite, which is the main character that like the storyline moves around. A sture, which is the companion of the main character that are like plot points. You can imagine Macbeth and Banquo in like Western theater. But in Eastern theater, like that trope or like that characters will be called shite and story. And there would also be 1 to 3 witnesses that are also plot points that can help the story move on and build different dynamics. Yeah, so comedy scenes called kyojin, which in by itself, by the way, is its own theater type, would emerge in between those no performances that I mentioned earlier. Since there would be like 8 hours of no performances, there would always be like these 10 to 20 minute long intermissions that people would participate in, and like it would be like Roman comedy where it would make fun of the no characters and the no plot, and at the same time it would in by itself be a story, like talking about more common events, and it's more for the commoners, while the no theater to like the noble's eye was more noble, like so the it would be more, kyojin would be more similar to kabuki, for example. So today we're going to explore some physical movements.
In part 3, we learn that symbolic actions of the hand.
Okay, so I want to talk about 2 physical movements. So I'm going to have the 2 of you. So for the first physical movement, I'd like Shirley to do it, because I need the second physical movement to be by Sarah, because Shirley is wearing a skirt. So the first physical movement is the physical movement to show like sadness. So you can watch this video once first.
In part 3, we learn that symbolic actions of the hand play an important part in no acting.
We can put our hand out like this for practice.
This is the gesture for crying, literally catching tears in the palm of your hand.
Okay, can you pause that, please? Wait, go back. Okay. Oh crap, you'll have to pause both of them. Sorry, so I had 2 videos prepared just in case one of them suddenly go wrong. Can you try to do the movement that they were talking about? Wait, I think it's supposed to be your right hand. Wait, this is your right hand. Okay. No, it was right hand. Let's play it for a second. Play it for a second. Sarah.
In part 3, we learn that symbolic actions of the hand play an important part in no acting.
Okay. So if it's left hand,
this
the technique
is the
still
gesture
remains.
for crying,
So you can see the
literally
gesture
catching
for crying.
tears in the palm of
Literally
your
catching
hand.
tears in the palm of your hand. And one thing, let me try to like correct you by try to help you learn this like actually. So you can see like his hand has like a certain gap between the thumb and the rest of the hand. And also, so you can see there's actually like a little gap. So like you can imagine, and you can like curl your hand so like you can actually catch the tears. You can move it to your right eye, but like covering only one of your eyes. So like it's like this, and then you lower your head a bit. You can see his other hand is actually like slightly extended like this. So like it's like, but most of the focus is on this hand, and you can do it slowly, and try to not move your arm so much and more of your. Okay. I like the facial emotion. Okay, so now that we've got the first one done, Sarah, could you do the second one? 9 minutes. Okay. So, go back. It's the same video. Skip the first part. Okay, and then click this.
In part 3,
これはただ悲しいだけです。次にはもっと
Extreme
激しい感情
sadness.
になって
We'll go like, oh, suddenly.
足
To
を
Okay,
greet
okay.
a guest.
So to greet a guest, you'd sit down. Okay, as you can see in the video, he's sitting down with his like. No, let's stay there. Okay, play for a sec. So next time, how about let me just try to control. I think I got it pretty well. So what you would do is you would like sit like this, right? And then so you could see that like your left foot is more difficult to see, but your right foot is very clear to the audience. And the two hands are like, so this is supposed to be a skirt, but we don't have a skirt. So your two hands would be somewhere like here, to like be next to your legs. And then you can see in the video he would like move his arms by
また
like
帰る
moving his legs up a bit and then use his foot to kick. So normally what he would do is he would do it 6 times, but I think the best way to think of it is just when you're facing this way and you turn 90 degrees, how many steps it takes for you to turn 90 degrees, and then relax your legs to show that like you're here, and then eventually you turn back to do your own business. So do you want to try it once? So yeah, welcoming me, and then I come and I'm settled now, like you are, and you go back. Yeah, good. So something interesting is the character of no. Okay, you can get it. Something interesting is the character of no literally means to do. So I think that philosophically carries the idea to like do things via your body through physical movements, and I think that's also a large component carrying on to the thought and meaning put into the play and the symbolisms in the play. That's why physical movements have such big of a meaning in the play. So I'm gonna also get a physical exploration done with all of us, and here we have a printed script that I wrote. So can you guys come up here? So it's a story from Hana, which is one of Siami, which is like, as I mentioned earlier, the Japanese Shakespeare. He wrote this play, it's very good, and basically I had an AI language model predict what the play would have been like in English, including the physical movements that would be done. And the physical movements I just taught you could be used in this. So, yeah, can you guys read through it once first from Mr. K? Just read the parts. Okay, I'll be the narrator. Fade in. Int. Soza's house in Hana. Day. Soza, a young samurai in his early 20s. Oh yeah, you can read Soza's part.
Soza, a young samurai in his early 20s, is sitting in his living room staring blankly at the piece of parchment when a messenger arrived at his door.
So what you can note is you can imagine that light to be the blank piece of parchment you could be looking at. Like the blank piece of parchment could symbolize like not having a direction to go to. So as the messenger, can you just read this?
Excuse me, sir, are you Soza?
Yes, I am. What brings you here?
I have been sent by your family to inform you that your father had passed away.
Soza's expression immediately drops and he becomes silent for a moment.
What? My father is dead?
Yes, I'm sorry to be the bearer of such sad news. He passed away earlier today.
Soza takes a deep breath, trying to hold back tears.
How did it happen?
He fell ill and his condition worsened quickly. He passed away peacefully in his sleep.
Soza's eyes fill with tears as he tries to hold back his emotions. So this is where you would do, no, we'll just read through it once. So this is where you would do the physical movement of like catching. So you would become Soza now, Shirley. Mr. Roy, not Olivia. Okay. Soza, voice trembling.
Thank you for letting me know.
Soza takes the parchment from the messenger's hands and reads it over again, as in disbelief. Messenger.
I'm sorry for your loss, sir.
Soza nods slightly and dismisses the messenger, then collapses on a nearby mat, burying his face in his hands.
Father, why did you have to leave me so soon?
Fade out. So the second part of this would be for a different physical movement that I decided was like too complicated to teach in like a short time. So you can ignore this part and you can just first I would like you to greet the guest. That could be her playing the messenger. So you can like try to practice that physical movement. While I would say you could be the sosa that's sad, and then you could do the physical movement with him being sad after hearing about the news. So something I'd like to mention is, I think it's in the next page, but oh no, it's not. So it's important to, like, for the part where you're talking to him, so you would be doing the physical movement for crying while she is talking as the messenger, while you would be like responding in a normal way, like solemnly but like slightly sadly, and then you'd start doing the physical movement when she's talking again. So like that kind of like brings the attention to her, and I think that's one of the intentions in this. So yeah, let's just try to do it one time, you know, and I'll tell you if I like any of it. So
What am I?
so you would be you would be the sitting like soza. So you'd sit down like staring at that. I think, yeah, staring at that piece of parchment. Wait, no. This would be better. You stare at the camera, right? And then you can be the messenger and you can be here.
Is it right feet first?
Yeah, right feet. Wait,
Okay.
for this case, I think left feet would work too. Okay, so you can come onto the scene. You can come onto the scene, like knock the door. Knock, knock! And then you could open the door and turn it.
Excuse me, sir. Are you Soza? Excuse me, sir. Are you Soza?
Sorry. Mr. K, you were supposed to print this. It's not my fault.
Yes, I am. What brings you here?
I have been sent by your family to inform you that your father has passed away.
What? My father is dead?
He fell ill and his condition worsened quickly. Oh, yes, I'm sorry to be the bearer of such sad news. He passed away earlier today.
Okay, and then you can stand up now. And then you can become Soza,
So do I sit down?
standing up. And then, like, because you're shocked, so you stand up and go. And then you can start crying as she is talking. Yes, and then go down again. Your arm down, and then just keep catching the tears. Remember, you have to let the tears go away. Okay, read your part. That would be. Okay. You say thank you for letting me know.
Thank you for letting me know.
And then you say
I'm sorry for your loss, sir.
you. Yeah. So that would be how it would be done. So you could imagine a play like this. Oh, you guys know. Thank you so much. So you would imagine that this would be a scene in Hannah, how they would use physical movements to. 5 more minutes? Okay. Physical movements to show emotion and like change. So I think it's really interesting. Hannah itself is a very interesting story about a man like striving for revenge, and then like eventually he realizes that it's not all about revenge, and it's actually about just living your own life happily. It's a very philosophical and very interesting play, and if you have time, go to Japan and watch it. Time and money, of course. Next slide. So at last I want to talk about the relevance of Noh theater to modern culture. So first, like, the simplicity and minimalism in Noh theater has inspired many productions all around the world to this day. The way that they would use trope physical movements and like the kyojin that derive from it are all their own theater forms. The masks in Noh theater are also very important. They are a part of the mask culture in Japan and how they use masks to show different tropes in theater too. The understanding of Japan that we have also comes a bit from Noh theater, such as the Noh theater masks are like how we would imagine Japanese demons in anime would look like. For example, that guy in Demon Slayer that had pig head. And Also, no theater as the oldest theater form still here today. It's still here. It is modern theater because in the modern age, people are still performing it. So I think that's another way it is relevant in modern time. And it's very interesting. That's the last slide. This is my works cited. Thank you for watching my performance. How did my time go?
20 minutes.
Oh crap.